And we said we weren't going to be back, at least not yet.
Told you guys a fib. We didn't realize this, but we've got something to talk about.
Right. Well, we knew it was happening, but we didn't know we wanted to come and do a bonus.
So we're throwing a bonus in here. We're going to talk about our 3-day fast that we just completed. The last podcast we recorded, we were right in the middle of it. And so, man, we want to fill you guys in on this because what an experience it was.
It was.
Man. So, anyways, buckle up. We're going to go into some details and share our experience with you guys because this was definitely something brand new for us.
It was. And if you didn't listen to our previous podcast, go back and listen to it.
Yeah.
I think that's a great place to start. But if you haven't and you're not going to, let me just fill you in. This was not a spiritual fast. This was a health fast that we did. And we'll talk about why we did it and stuff in a second. But we did a 3-day water fast, 72 hours. And it was crazy. So we're going to take
It'll change your life.
Oh, goodness. We'll take it day by day and kind of just tell you what we did and what we experienced. Now, there are many of you who may or may not care.
Yeah.
And that's
okay.
That's okay. But we just wanted to fill you in since we talked about it so much last time.
I'll say coming into this, I was just excited to try something new. I was excited to push my body. I was excited for a new challenge. On Amy's side, she had a lot of thoughts that went into this. A lot of fear and trepidation at first. Like, oh my goodness, can I do this? And I was just like, let's do it. It's fine. I can do anything.
Jared was so casual. He was like, I think I'm going to do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I actually decided to do it with him the day it started.
Yeah.
I hadn't eaten yet.
Yeah.
And I just was like, I guess I'll do it with you. But I had been doing a lot of research on just fasting in general and how good it is for your body. What are some of the
benefits? Because there's a reason why we did this.
Yes. So fasting is really good for your body, which is actually cool when you think about how God says there should be prayer and fasting.
Yeah.
Not only is it good for our spiritual self, but God's also like saying this is good for your body. Like God designed the body this way.
Yeah.
And so we've just been learning a bunch of different stuff about this. But we did the 72-hour fast because we were going for one key thing, and it's a word called autophagy.
Or autophage, whichever
way you want to put it. And that's where basically there's no food in your body, and so your body goes and starts eating up rogue cells, bad cells, and things in your body that are
weakened
harmful.
Cells.
Could be harmful to you. And it's kind of like a detox.
Absolutely.
Because you're literally getting rid of everything.
It's definitely a detox, that's for sure.
It is a detox. And so we did this because we were just like, we want to prioritize our health and we want to do something that's kind of hard. And a lot of people that we'd been listening to just talking about like how incredible this fast is for your body.
Yeah.
And they were talking it up so big. And it's because it's hard.
Yes.
It's not an easy fast, and we'll talk to you about that.
It's good for your mind. It clears out your brain. It
clears out
your gut.
And it actually, at some point, your gut starts to create new stem cells, if I'm understanding this correctly.
Right.
I'm coming at you with a YouTube degree, so I don't know much of what I'm talking about other than what I'm learning.
Really helps to reset the immune system. It's really, if you can handle it, it's really good for your body.
Right.
So you're intaking water the whole time. Now, if you just do water only, you can deplete your body. So we did some electrolytes as well.
We did.
Which just has minerals just to make sure our body was staying nourished with that.
And so we got this packet on Amazon. We both got our own packet. And there's
Element.
all these
Element.
LMNT.
That's the brand.
Yeah. And so we both had our own packet, and there's like a flavor in there called citrus salt. It's very salty.
Yeah.
I didn't really like it.
Yes.
Citrus salt, habanero, just weird stuff. But there's one packet in there that's called chocolate salt.
It ended up.
So Jared, he took it to work
being my
the day
favorite.
that he drank it, and I said, "Tell me how it is," because in my head I'm just thinking, "Oh, chocolate, that would be a game changer when I'm starving if I could like drink a chocolate drink." And so Jared texts me, he's like, "Chocolate is the bomb."
It's the bomb.
And
I really
was so excited. I went to a friend's house and I took my packet and I was like, I'm going to save this for there and I'm going to have like this chocolate drink. It was so disgusting. When I say disgusting, that's not even the word. Like, it was salty and lukewarm, and I had the hardest time with it.
I said, girl, save that leftover for me. I'll drink it.
Oh, it was so disgusting. So anyway, you're drinking these electrolytes during the fast. Now, I did something different than Jared. I did have 1 small cup of black coffee each morning because I didn't want to deal with a caffeine headache.
Yeah.
Which black coffee with nothing in it does not break your fast.
Yeah, with no creamer, you're good.
Nothing in it but just straight up black coffee.
Yep.
Some people say just do plain water.
I didn't want the shakes on an empty stomach. So
and I didn't get the shakes from it. I didn't want the headache. So anyway.
Okay, so let's break it down. First day, we jumped into it. We started at like 6 in the evening. You had a piece of cake shoved in your face at 8 o'clock. So you started at 8 in the evening.
Yes.
You proceeded to open your mouth and receive the cake. Started later.
Yeah.
But the first day for me, I was definitely hungry. I've done some intermittent fasting where I went for like 12 hours and 16 hours. So it was kind of like, for me, I'm like, okay, I got this. Like, I'm definitely hungry. We're going to get through this. Hang in there. I've been in this area. What about for you? What was it like?
The first day, so I was, again, not anticipating doing the fast.
Yeah.
And you were just like, you should do it with me. And I was just like, okay, I'll do it. Because like we talked about on the other podcast, for a woman, you need to make sure that there's a certain part of your cycle that you would do a long fast like this.
Yeah.
Like, not every day of the month is the best for you. And I happened to be in like prime time. And I was just like, I had been doing so much thinking and researching about it. I was just like, okay, I'll do it. And so I committed to it.
She did it.
And I was so nervous, but I was very hungry that day, but it was not impossible. It was almost like an adrenaline of like, oh, we're doing something. Oh, I'm a little bit hungry. Oh.
And I was excited to try the electrolytes too. That was like something I was looking forward to. So I think day 1 was just consumed with trying the electrolytes. Excited. I was hungry, but I was excited to try all the different flavors from the Element packets that we had.
Yes, and the first one that we drank that day was the best one, which is sad.
What was it?
I think I had citrus salt, which was my favorite. And then it was, so that's like when I was feeling okay, and I drank the best one. Not a good combo. Usually you save the best when you're really needing it. But the first day was tough, but it was good.
So then day 2?
Oh, well, I will say I had a ladies' cookie exchange party that I went to.
That.
And it wasn't hard, but it was just like everybody's eating all this delicious food and we're decorating cookies and everybody's in the Christmas spirit. And I'm like quietly decorating my cookie. Like, I'm not going to be eating for a long time from now. And it was just like, you just had to just keep going and get your mind off of it, which that does help getting your mind off of it and doing something, because then that makes the time go by. So day one was not difficult for me.
Day 2 for me, I didn't sleep too well the night between day 1 and day 2. I was kind of delirious. I was kind of like, I've got no food. I'm not going to be able to eat for another 2 days. And so I woke up day 2 in a delirium, and I was hungry first thing in the morning as soon as I opened my eyes. And I literally was like, if Amy wakes up and she's like, I can't do this, then I was going to settle for just doing like a day and a half or 2 days. Like, I was already ready to throw in the towel.
Yeah.
It was so weird. And then you woke up.
I woke up and I was just like, I'm doing this.
Let's go.
And I don't normally have that drive in the physical, like pushing my body. But I was just like, we're doing this.
And I was like, well, if she's doing it, then I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And so I kind of woke myself up out of the delirium. I was like, here we go.
And I kind of just did my day. I was real busy, just kind of getting stuff done. And the day was going by quickly. Went to a friend's house. Trying to pass the time, had a meeting at church.
I would say, because I know where you're going with this.
Yes.
So just real quick, I would say my hunger was worse on the second day than the first day, because it's just like you're just right in the middle. It's not like downhill from here. I was hoping to get some sort of relief, but I was just hungry.
Yeah.
I did discover the chocolate flavor electrolytes. So that was a good like little break for me, because it was just like I was drinking hot chocolate or cold chocolate.
Oh, it was not like that.
But for day 2, the morning was the hardest, but just all day long I was just hungry all day long, just pounding water, pounding electrolytes. But then so you did a bunch of things.
Yes.
What happened
And
you?
I do remember day 2 was when I was like, ooh, you know what sounds really good? Like, that's when I started having like food like, oh, I can't wait to have this and I can't wait to have that. But anyway, day 2, I had a meeting at church and I had all the kids and I had already been exerting myself that day. I got the chocolate electrolyte with me, so I hadn't been drinking enough because I thought it was so disgusting.
Yeah.
So I really overexerted myself that night and came home and I was just like tingly. I feel like I might have been either dehydrated or hyperventilating.
I thought you were done.
And I threw up in
Which
the
is
living
not a
room
good thing.
in the bowl, not on the ground. And the kids are like my kids had to step up. Gable Claire made our dinner.
Rockstar.
She made dinner like 2 nights in a row for the kids. So they're eating dinner. I'm in the den throwing up and they're probably like, what is mom doing? Why
You
is she
had
doing
nothing
this to herself?
throw up
I had
other than
nothing.
just fluids.
And I felt so bad. And I was just like, this can't be good. And I think I was looking online for something to say, if you're doing a water fast and you just threw up, stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
Like I was waiting for that. And it's not like that.
Yeah.
Like you can still make it. Just keep drinking water. I was like, no, somebody told me I have to stop. This is dangerous. But it's not, because your body is just, it's detoxing. Also, your stomach is filling up with acid. This is one thing I read. And then when there's no food, it just can make you nauseous.
Yeah.
I did feel better after I threw up.
I will say, if she kept throwing up,
Yes.
it would have stopped.
Yes, for sure.
So we weren't.
And we
being
even said that. We were like, if this continues, there's a problem.
Yeah.
But if I think I pushed my body
we
too
weren't
hard
gonna
and
be
I was just
stupid.
nauseous.
We just had to rest, let you reset.
Yes.
And
So I
didn't exert
literally
yourself.
laid on the couch the rest of that night.
Yeah.
Went to bed, woke up the next day. Weird for me on day 3.
Day 3.
I was not hungry at all in the morning. I don't know if you remember that. We
crazy.
sat here and I was just like, I'm not hungry.
Yeah.
I'm not hungry at all.
Yeah. I found that on day 2 and day 3, I had to think. It was hard for me to pronounce certain words. It was hard for me to like make complex thoughts come out of my brain and out of
Yeah.
my mouth without a stutter or without slurring. So I had to put a lot of thought.
Right.
So it just took more. I guess my brain was just kind of tired, or
Yeah.
it just didn't have the food. Obviously,
The blood flow.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's a thing. Our hands
Yeah.
and our feet were like
That's
cold.
right. I was
Our
cold.
fingertips. Yes. One night I had 4 blankets on me because your
Yeah.
body has no food to
Yeah.
metabolize and turn into energy.
I was cold
So-
day 2, day 3.
Yes,
all
me
day.
too.
All
Very
day.
cold.
I did not take my traditional cold showers in the morning because I knew that I was already going to be cold that day.
And miserable. So it's like, why add more misery to
So we got into day 3, and I would say I still had some hunger on day 3, but I was so excited because I knew that evening I was going to be able to eat for the first time. And so I think day 3 was I was just overwhelmed with the fact that the finish line was right there. So everything else just kind of took a back seat because I knew it was coming.
So if you visualize a race, day 3 is when Jared's like sweating at the race, but he's excited as he's
Yes.
running towards the finish line.
Yes.
Day 3 for me was me on my face, my hands and knees, just every
Crawling.
single minute trying to
then
get there.
You weren't crawling because your hands would give out, so you just started rolling.
I
like a
started
little-
rolling towards the finish line. Y'all, day 3 was very hard for me. And I think it could have been because I threw up the night before.
Yeah.
So I had like no anything in my
Yeah.
body other than
Yeah.
water and electrolytes.
Yeah.
Which again is the goal.
That's the goal.
This is the goal. We accomplished the goal. But I was so weak. Like all I could do was get
Yeah.
up and go to the bathroom. I just laid on the couch all day, just waiting.
What kind of bathroom did you go?
I went number 1.
What's number 1?
Pee.
Okay.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, we're talking about the
Oh, I thought you meant like
fast.
what bathroom did I go
Yeah,
to?
no, like what type? I do, because we're talking about. I didn't have any bowel movements either during the fast as well. It was just all pee for me.
Yeah,
as
because your
well.
body just has
It's-
nothing.
There was nothing to go to
Yeah,
get rid of. So
yeah.
I was just. You said I went to the restroom. So I was
Yes,
just curious.
but like because you're drinking so much, you have to go
Yeah.
to the bathroom all the
Right,
time.
right.
So I could get up and go there, but even then, I'm just hunched over, just barely trying to get there. It was crazy. Like, and the hours just went by so slowly.
Yeah.
For me. Now
Not
you're
me.
at work.
I was ready.
You were at work. You're doing
I
stuff.
was
You
like,
have
let's
things.
get these patients in. Let's get this day going. Come on, it's
Oh.
time.
But up until, so it was like, and we had a group of friends who were kind of doing a group text and counting down 40 minutes left, 20 minutes left, whatever. And we made it to exactly 8 o'clock.
When I came home from work, you were, I mean, no offense, but like you looked like you were almost dead. I mean, your face was just like super.
I was so weak.
Color to it. Your feet were like hanging out of the tip of the blanket, and it was just like super duper duper like white feet. And I was like, oh my goodness, is she okay? And like I touched her feet, and they were cold. And I'm like, this girl, I don't know if she's gonna make it for another hour or two.
It was bad. Now let's just pause here. And there might be people who are listening to this like, why would you do that? I know we already talked about the why, but we were not pushing ourselves to a point of danger.
Right.
Like we were very aware of,
or at least ignorance is bliss, by the way.
Right. I knew I was so weak, but I knew if I can make it to 8 and get some food in my body, it's going to be better.
Yeah.
I don't think I could have done it another day.
Yeah.
Like I think for me, I pushed my body to where
I think you're right.
Yeah. But I knew like if I had to do this another day, I might have had to just been like, I can't do it.
But this is a girl that a month ago was like, oh, I don't fast. I can't. Well, I can fast, but I don't fast 100% food. I cannot do that. I've never done that.
Yeah.
I can't do something like this. My body just can't handle it. I have too much on my plate. And then here she just like banged it out, which was just.
So
Are you proud of yourself?
I'm proud that I did it. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
I'm proud that I did it, but I'm even more happy that it's over.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So we went right up into the 8 o'clock mark. Yeah. And the kids were just literally looking at the phone like, 2 more minutes, Mom. 2 more minutes.
When will my parents be normal again?
Right.
Quick.
And we had explained to them before that we're about to do this water fast. You need to give us some mercy and some grace. Yes. And you might need to help a little bit extra because we might be, weak and stuff. But we explained to them, I know it looks like we're sick.
Yeah.
But this is really good for our body. Yeah. Like we're going up and eating bad cells because they were like, why don't you just eat? Yeah. And I said, don't worry. I'm going to.
We're going to eat.
We're going to eat.
Trust us.
But so we explained that to them. Anyway, so we made it to the 8 o'clock mark. It was very anticlimactic because it literally just was like, me. No, I'm just saying I still was weak. And it was like, I did it. But when you are finished with a water fast, it's very important that you refeed your body properly.
Yeah.
So then what we did is we learned this from a doctor. You start with bone broth.
Yeah.
And that kind of just like heals I think it's your intestines or your gut. I think it's your intestines.
Essentially, you're just trying to reestablish food back into your body without overwhelming it. And so bone broth is something that's just a real simple food.
Yeah.
You can break it down easily. It doesn't just overwhelm you and shock you into something crazy. So.
And then 30 minutes later, we drank kombucha because it has a ton of probiotics.
Yep.
And then 30 minutes after that, we sauteed some spinach. Yes. And we scrambled up some eggs. Yes. And man, oh man, oh man.
Yeah.
They were delicious.
Those are the best eggs in my life.
And that spinach was delicious.
Yeah, the bomb.
It was so good.
What was crazy, and I told you this, as soon as that bone broth touched my lips, my stomach, it's just so crazy how God made our bodies, but just like my stomach instinct was just like, oh, time to turn on the intestines again. Let's start digest. And I was just like, I mean, within probably 30 seconds to a minute, I felt my stomach rumbling. I was like, whoa. Oh, I got to use the restroom. What in the world? And for 3 days, there was nothing.
Yeah.
And it was insane that fast, even though I had nothing solid within me, it was just like, all right, it's time to flush. Let's go.
What was crazy for me is I was laying on the couch and Jared brought me the bone broth and I'm just drinking it really slowly with a spoon. And it wasn't actually that good to me.
No.
But as I'm drinking it, I know it's obvious. I'm not like unconscious. Like I know this is food and I need to get it in me. And as I'm drinking it, you can just feel energy coming back. Yep. It was crazy.
It is.
Like you could just still felt a little uneasy, still felt very weak, but it was just like, okay, things are getting better. Things are getting better. And then 30 minutes later, we drank the kombucha and it was just like, okay, slowly things are getting better. And then I was able to like get up, like I was helping you make dinner.
Yep.
And I'm putting stuff away. It was literally
did you hear that,
like,
by the way, she was helping me make dinner.
Right.
That was pretty cool. First time ever.
No, you've made it before. I do most of the cooking just because it's my kitchen.
Yeah.
But it was amazing. And then we sat down and ate the eggs and the spinach and it was just like, it just felt like better. Still a little uneasy,
so
still
good.
like your body just getting back to, wait, I didn't have food. Now I do have food.
Yeah.
But then the next day I woke up and I felt good, and I was just like, we did it.
Yeah.
And the feeling of accomplishment
That was huge.
the feeling of, I really did something hard, but I
Yeah.
did it to benefit my physical body.
Yes.
Those two things right there,
Agree,
I was just
agree.
like, I feel really accomplished.
Could you do this alone? Yes. I highly recommend having a
That
buddy.
you don't, yeah.
I highly recommend having a buddy that you do this with. That way you guys can egg each other on and really
Commiserate with each other.
really keep yourselves on track and on focus and moving forward, because that would have been so much harder
Yes.
had I done that by myself. And the other thing is, I thought that I could just this is just me talking right now, but I thought, like, a spiritual fast, that's one thing, and then a health fast, this is something completely different. Oh no, you can't really separate the two, because I was this was a health fast for me, but I'm gonna tell you what, I was on day 2 calling out to the Lord, help me, I'm not gonna make it through this thing. So as much as you may want it to be a health fast, it's gonna turn into a spiritual fast real quick.
And it makes you appreciate food.
Yeah.
Like when you get food in
Yeah.
your mouth, you're just like, man, we are so blessed to have food
Yeah.
to eat. Because the feeling of not having food
I
is
know.
just, it's tough.
It just goes to show how vulnerable we are.
Yeah.
You're like, I've only gone without food for 2 days, and I'm already this weak and
Right.
miserable. And
Right.
whoa.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lord.
So all that to say, this is
Yeah.
the recap of our water fast, if you even cared.
Here you go. I haven't asked you this. Would you do it again?
Ooh. At this point, I don't know if I could say yes. I think I could do which there's health benefits to 24-hour fast.
Yeah.
There's health benefits to 48-hour fast. Like there's things that happen in your body at those markers.
Yeah.
I think I could do a 48-hour one.
Yeah.
Day 3 was the hardest for me. So to
Yeah.
say 72,
Yeah.
I just don't know.
I would do it again, and I believe that it would be easier for me.
Because you know what to expect.
I know what to expect, but my body's already done it too. So my
Yeah,
body's
that's
not
true.
like, you're never gonna eat again. It's time to freak out. My body's gonna be like, hey, we've been here.
We can do
Like,
it.
Things will get easier, like in life with anything that you do.
Yeah.
First time is oftentimes the hardest, but it doesn't mean it'll always be that way. So
That's true.
I don't want to do it right now, but I think I would do it again in the future.
Yeah.
If I needed to.
Yeah, it's like when I had Gable Claire, our first baby, and you asked me in the hospital, "Do you want to have another baby?"
Was the timing-
little too soon.
Was the timing off on that?
Little too soon there
Gotcha.
to talk about having another baby. So I
Gotcha.
think right now
And we
I would
proceeded
never
to
say
have 3
never.
more
We
after
did.
that? Yeah.
I'll never say never, but I do know that I have no intention of doing that anytime
Yeah.
soon. But I have again done a lot of just thinking about more intermittent fasting and every once in a while throwing in a 24-hour fast, because our body is not designed to just constantly be eating in
Yeah.
a state of eating. Like
Yeah.
we've got to be able to switch back and
Let it
forth.
rest.
And so I am thinking more about that, but the Mac Daddy 72, that's a little
Ooh,
bit,
girl. I'm telling you, you knocked it out of the park. You did it. I wasn't sure if you could, and you were so afraid. I'm like, just stop thinking about it so much
know.
and just don't do it. If it's
I
gonna be
know.
if it's gonna be that fearful for you of something to think about, just stop.
Right.
Just say, I'm not gonna do it. And then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And you're like, I'm gonna do it too. And I was like, what are you doing?
I know. And we did it.
You knocked it out.
We did it.
So,
So that was a bonus episode.
Yeah.
If you even, I keep saying that because I'm like, surely there's some people that don't care. But if you don't care,
how about this? If you've done a 3-day fast, let us know about it.
yeah.
I would love to hear what your experience
that
was.
would be fun because you
So-
hear people online, but it's like, I want to know somebody that I,
Yeah, let us know. Like, leave us a review, a comment, email us, and let us know what your experience was. I would definitely do it again. I'm not ready for it yet.
No.
But yeah, it was good for me too, because I did something hard, and it's like, if I can do that, what else can I do that I thought was hard? So
Yeah.
it was a good internal confidence booster as well.
yeah. Yeah. It's good for me to push myself because I don't always do that.
Yeah.
And that was definitely a push.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That was definitely a push. But I'm thankful that I can say I made it to the end
Yeah.
because I didn't want to be a quitter.
No, girl, you ain't no quitter.
So I made it.
You did awesome.
Yes.
Good job.
All right.
Good job.
All right.
Alrighty, guys. Well, this is the last one for this season for sure.
Right. It is. Unless we have a bonus. No, there's no bonus. This is it.
All right,
but we
guys.
will see you next season
Yeah.
on The Different Life.
Bye.
All right. Bye, everybody.
See y'all.